This is a story all about how my life got flipped and turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became Mary, the mother of Jesus. This one time, a frick long time ago, I woke up with this bright light in my face. It turns out it was a guy in a long white robe. Weird, right? I was like, who's the fairy in the bedsheet? And this dude's like, it's me, Gabriel. He wasn't Italian, but I just feel like it adds something to the story.
So I was like, chill out, don't be afraid. I got a DM from the Lord and I've got some good news. God has a plan for you. You're pregnant.
At this point, I'm getting a little freaked out and was like, wait, what? But then he starts saying things like, God has blessed you with a son. So then I said, I thought you said good news. At which he said, it is good news because he's going to be the savior. So I'm thinking, well, that's kind of cool, but also like, how is this possible? Because Joseph and I, we're a good Christian couple. We haven't even, held hands or anything. So how was I pregnant?
Yeah, look, Mary was stressing at this stage, and understandably so. But I told her, look, this is gonna be God's son, so you know it's gonna be good. He's gonna be the best, legit the greatest of us, so it's hard to stress that much. And then she was like, yeah, aight.
The next day, I told Joseph to come over, and shame, he thought we were just hanging out. He brought over a shea box and everything. I had no idea how I was gonna tell him. So as he walked through the door, I kind of just blurted it out and said, I'm pregnant!
Man, I have to say, I have never seen someone go so pale. Joseph was shook, to say the absolute least, and he didn't even notice that he had dropped all the food that he had just bought on the floor.
So after I managed to calm him down a bit, I said to him, you may have figured this out already, but you're not the father. And that didn't really help, until I told him that God's the father. I'm not gonna lie, he looked fairly relieved.
Not too long after, Mary and Joseph soon became husband and wife, because in those days it was considered wrong to be pregnant and not married. But these are special circumstances, because Mary is carrying the Son of God. They left Pinelands because there was a new imperial command put into place by Mrs. Dlamini Zuma that all individuals shall move to their ancestral towns. So they traveled all the way to Swellendam. I mean, who goes to Swellendam? People drive through maybe, but they never go there. So while all this is going on, back in Pretoria, President Headed was soon to give a State of the Nation address.
I want all CIA, FBI, NSA, PMT, and TTFN agents to round up all of the firstborn children and kill them. I will not have anyone question my leadership.
President Herod, do you have jurisdiction to do that?
I am saying that when you are the king of South Africa, nothing is illegal.
So anyway, back to the story. Mary and I finally started the long journey back to Swellendam. It was a bit longer than it needed to be because, well, there was a mix-up in the transportation arrangements. But eventually we arrived at the Airbnb. It looked lovely, the grass was green, we had the cash to pay, but there was a problem. I was in charge of booking the place. And I kind of forgot to book it.
Typical Joseph. He would lose his head if it wasn't screwed on. So we went to this other Airbnb in the area and we met this very interesting character there.
By the way, I can get you some really good discounts if you... Wait, are we rolling? So I'm here, going about my business. We're 3 hours away from midnight, and this couple shows up out of nowhere, clearly past their bedtime, on a bike. I couldn't make head nor tail of it. So I open the door and ask, what the blazes are you doing here? She was very polite and she said, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to intrude, but we really need a place to stay. And I was like, a place to stay? Do you know what time of year it is? You're lucky if you find a free gutter. It was at this point I noticed she had a rather significant bulge. So I said to her, cripes, that's basically falling out of you, love. The man said, well, that's no problem. We need a place to stay. You could be here any second. So I said, any second? He looks like he was due half an hour ago. And then she said, it certainly feels like it. And then I said, if he was a wee bit closer, I could lob a caber at him, cunt. So I've been thinking, and this could probably be a long shot, but I have a friend who lives nearby. It's nothing fancy, but it's warm and dry and it stinks to high heaven. But you don't really have many options, so that's probably the best I can give you. The lass was so happy, she said, thank you so much for helping us. And I said, don't thank me yet, love. Just wait until you've had a whiff of the place. I was about to send them on their way, but then I remembered my duties as a host. And I said, best of luck and Merry Christmas. Don't worry, you'll get that in an hour or two. And I sent them on their way.
It was a standard day for me. I started the day by doing some light reading and then cleaning up the place just a little. When suddenly there was this knock at the door. And there was this couple, just kinda standing there. And the woman was super pregnant. I was really confused for a second, but then the woman said that Seamus had told them to come and said that they could stay for the night. Instantly I knew that if Seamus had sent them, they must be good people. I invited them in, and it's a good thing I had cleaned up a little, otherwise the place would be an absolute mess. As I was giving them an extensive tour of my magnificent mansion, Mary's water suddenly broke, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what happened next.
Wow, I was a stressed man. This was definitely the most stressful time of my life. But Mary was very graceful through the whole ordeal. And then boom, suddenly I had my baby in my arms. And this was not just any ordinary baby, because this baby was going to be the savior of the entire world.
Here born is a boy, born in a stable, the poorest of the poor, to a virgin mother. Here born is a boy where wise men and even kings would travel to the poorest of places to witness the miracle that God took part in. Here born is a boy who in years to come will preach things that are so astonishing that billions of people will live their lives by them throughout thousands of years to come. Here born is a boy who will at some point in his life be crucified for simply telling people to love each other. Here born is a boy whose birth will be told for centuries to come, whose birth will be recorded in billions of copies of the Bible and told in hundreds of languages. Here born is a boy who will be living proof of what it means to be a person of God. Here born is the birthday boy, Jesus Christ.